How you doing there? I just read The Third Wave. This is I don't want to say autobiography, but it's written by Steve Case. If you don't know who Steve Case is, I'm going to pull up this on the screen here. If you don't know who Steve Case is, he is the founder or was the founder of America Online. If you don't know who America Online is, if you're just a baby, America Online was the first real internet service provider that was mainstream. And we used to dial up through our computer, through our phone line with a modem, something called a modem that was rated by baud rate, and we would log into America Online to get the internet. And you young people today wouldn't be able to handle it, but at the time it was cutting edge. And so let me just say a little bit about Steve Case. So Steve Case was, he basically founded America Online, and America Online was a juggernaut in its time. I mean, the stock went up to the moon. I knew somebody who invested $2,000 in it, and that stake was worth $100,000 at one point. So 50 times on his money at some point he was up. He definitely didn't sell it there, and I ribbed him. Why didn't you put more than $2,000 in it? You fool. In hindsight. But anyway, America Online was a juggernaut. Stock went straight up. Everyone was joining it. They had, 20, 30 million people paying them $20 or $25 a month for access at one point. And then the bottom fell out. I mean, well, just to give you an idea how big America Online was, it was basically Google and Facebook and YouTube. It was everything, Instagram. It was everything combined all in one. That's how big AOL was. I don't know what the percent it was. Maybe it was 15 or 20%, some high percentage of all internet traffic, 16, 17 years ago, 99, 2000, went through America Online. So it was a big deal, and now it's gone. And this is an important lesson that it's not totally gone. My mother-in-law still has AOL, and I'm sure you know some older relatives who still have AOL. My mother-in-law actually pays something like $15 a month for, I'm going to have to do the finger quotes, technical support for AOL. And, she's afraid that if she leaves AOL, that her friends won't be able to find her online. So AOL only exists now with a little bit of inertia among some of the older, less savvy set. But, the important thing to take away from this book is that, as big as Facebook is today, 15 years from now, it could be in the dustbin of history. It could be a footnote. That's how fast this stuff comes and goes in tech. And I think that, Steve Case, because he was the head of this company, he was rated the most powerful man in technology, I think, in 99 and 2000. And it was only about a year or two later, and he fell off the top 10. He was gone, fell out of favor, or just, he doesn't have the same status these days that, Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg had. And, Michael Dell, same thing. Michael Dell was on top of the world in the 90s, too. And people don't talk about him much as a visionary or as a leader anymore. They all have their time, their 20 minutes of fame, and that's it. The book was good because it's a good reminder about, technology, the transitory run that these companies and these technologies have. I enjoyed his personal stories a little bit from when he was young. There's not that much meat to it. But when he was 11 years old, he was scheming up business ideas. And I tell my entrepreneur class that, he was 11 years old. Him and his brother were figuring out how to make money, figuring out all these ways to hustle and grind. And he had the bug early on. And, within 15 years, 15, 20 years, he was on top of the world. But you got to start early with this stuff. It makes all the difference in the world. You got to get the fails out of the way. Nobody starts and hits a home run right off the bat. Right? Very few people do. But his parents referred to his bedroom when he was 11 years old as Steve's office. That's how intense he was and how determined he was at a young age. The second half of the book, or the last third of the book, I didn't like that much. I mean, he starts talking about how, from his own perspective, as somebody who's got billions in the bank and somebody who's trying to, allocate that money and invest it, and he keeps talking about how you need to work with the government and do this and do that. And it's really all about what he's doing now, which is not that interesting, personally. And I disagree with some of the things that came out of his mouth, too. But anyway, it's definitely worth a look back and remembering Steve Case because, there's a lot of lessons in this book here. All right, that's it for this book review.